His enemies run the same game on Delilah. And I'm here to tell you, this is what it was on my spirit today. Samson was younger and he had these problems. Had he had even an average level of good relationships when he was younger, and then as he got older, he became posed with these problems, he would have been able to handle it better. But because he had never had a successful relationship with anybody, he doesn't know how to handle it. And it causes him to be so frustrated. It causes his feelings to overtake him and to rule him in a way. But what brought this to my attention today as I was pondering relationships, especially things in my life, like me even thinking of dating somebody. The reason why I thought of Samson was because sometimes, like in life, y'all, your life can become so complicated that you got to date from a distance. You see, if Samson would have had a little bit more maturity on his side, and had he had the experience of a good relationship at least once for a duration of time, he would have been strong enough to date from a distance. He would have been strong enough to really work on himself, get himself together, and then decide who he wants to partner with in his life. Because after a certain age, that's what dating is. When I was in my 20s, it really wasn't a partnership. I really didn't have any power in my relationships when I was in my 20s. I just wanted to get selected. I just wanted him to tell me we go together. I really wasn't standing in any power in my 20s. I really wasn't. My 30s, I came into my power. But life can become so complicated that the enemy will do to you like they did to Samson. It was Samson's enemies, the Philistines, that really ruined Samson's love life because they corrupted the women he dated. He would meet these women, and then the Philistines would get a hold of them and get in their ear, either with threats or with money. The first woman they got in her ear was Samson's wife, and they threatened her and her father and her family and said they were going to unalive them and do all this kind of nonsense to their living home and all this kind of stuff. So she felt forced to betray Samson. And then Delilah, the kings of the Philistine, come to her and offer her riches that will set her up for the rest of her life. She would never have to depend on another man for nothing again, all from finding out his weakness. And that is exactly what happens in life, not for everyone. This is not for everyone, but for certain people. There are people out here that will come and portray themselves as this, that, and the other and be complete wolves in sheep clothing. And you'll be looking at them like, friend, take the sheep's clothing off, friend. I see you. I see you as a wolf, friend. Here you go again, acting like Spider-Man. And you're invisible. I see you. But they'll never admit it, but you'll know. This was on my spirit today. And how these same things happen today. There are people in the world that will send those amongst you, to entice you, for you to gain their trust, for you to let them in, for you to be accepting of them, all based upon a lie. And then there are those that will come upon you and that will be their representative, the best self that they have, because they don't have enough confidence in who they really are to show that, and then to sell you on that, to sell you on the truth. You see, the women that came to Samson, or Samson was enticed upon, all saw Samson for who he truly was. There will be people that will come upon you that will see you for who you truly are, friend. They will see you for who you truly are, because all of you has been displayed for some of you. But they will not feel as strong enough to show you who they truly are. They will need to show you only certain aspects because they don't feel confident in showing you the full truth, because they themselves are ashamed of the full truth. Yet my word to you today is, in you showing your full truth and allowing someone to either accept or deny, yet if they accept, what a powerful truth that was. How powerful is that? To sell someone on the good, the bad, and the ugly, and then for them to still say, that's mine. I'm rolling with that. I got to have that. That's mine. I'm accepting of that. I know to you that's not accepting, and that's not acceptable, rather. But to me, I can deal with that. I can work with that. Instead of selling them on a false ideology or false concept, only to find out later that is false. And then for them to make the decision later that they could have made earlier, saving you time and then them time. Because, friend, I'm here to tell you, in 2027, the wolves in sheep clothing really look like wolves in sheep clothing. They look like wolves dressed up for Halloween. Take your costume off, friend. Stand upright and talk to me in your big boy voice. And tell me of your truths. Tell me of your ugly stuff. And give me the opportunity to decide. That's the word that I have for you today.